My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Shadows over Loathing. Here we are exploring the... Oh boy, I'm gonna totally forget what that stood for. Something Yoda Ohm? Couldn't tell you if it led me. I'm gonna say Alpha Yoda Ohm. Campus. In fact, I could probably just tell if I came back to this location. The mailbox is made of a foreign stone, which means it's not a veritable crime to steal mail from it. Ah, just junk mail. Wow, these frat guys are super into geology. I think I should get along well with them. As a psychogeologist, the entire frat house is carved from a single huge block of stone. Really nice craftsmanship too, it must have taken forever. Let's go in. Ah, Lambda Yoda Theta, there we go. Not only did they sculpt a stone bar, they even did stone bottles and cups. That's real dedication to the art. I'm gonna look for the guy's jacket around the bar here. You find it draped over one of the bar stools. It was tricky to spot because of it being exactly the same color and shape as the stool itself. You got an item in the frat guy's jacket. Take it back to the guy who lost it. You're not sure whether this counts as a painting or a sculpture. I'm gonna ask it. The artwork tells you for about an hour without actually clarifying the question of its identity. You ask where it gets all its energy and it shows you energizing powder. Ah, a little bit of the Peruvian marching dust. This is a natural energizing compound. Nature speaks in mysterious ways, but not before it's had its coffee. 5 experience for doing so. Hi, solid stone counter looks uncomfortable, but there's still in the top 5 frat house couches. I'm gonna check under the cushions with my 60 muscle and get 120 meat. It's a real struggle to lift them up, but I do manage it. There's nothing on the hat rock. And nothing out in the other direction as well. The members of the frat apparently don't care much about comfort or privacy as much as they do about sticking to a theme. Respectable. It's hard to say what this is, a fridge or maybe an armor? I open it. It doesn't open, it's solid stone. Where do they keep their food and or clothes? A bowl of stone fruit. You know, like peaches and plums and avocado. Kiwi. The members of this... Wow, kiwi doesn't have a stone in the middle, does it? Dang! So close. The members of this frat apparently don't care about comfort or privacy. Oh wait, that's the same message we've seen before. We go further upstairs. Wow, this is incredible! Not only did this fraternity chisel a whole frat out of stone and carve furniture to match, they even went as far to sculpt a bunch of frat boy statues. Presumably they store them up here and haul them downstairs to fill out the space of parties. Also, there's some kind of weird stone thing? It looks a bit like one of those newfangled televisions you've heard about, except triangular. Someone's science project, maybe. I'm gonna look... Whoa, that seems important. Some kind of weird hovering rock, pretty fancy. This statue has kind of a nervous expression. Maybe it represents the sculptor's academic stresses. This statue is definitely doing some kind of crazy dance. They must have been the one bringing the party downstairs. This statue is holding its hands up in a desperate warding gesture. It must be symbolic of students' fears of leaving school and having to join the workforce. This statue is covering its eyes with one hand. Some kind of political commentary, maybe? This statue's praying, how traditional. And this statue looks like it's yelling something. They must take this one to football games. Ha ha. And this statue fell apart, that is a shame. There's a stone hat on the floor here, I'm gonna pick it up with my 6 muscle. Ugh! You got an item, stone frat cap. There's no way that the wolf is blowing this thing off your head. Or physical armor for wearing it. If this is a television, the program isn't very interesting. You don't see any way to change the channel though. Ah, so I'm yet to even be able to interact with this. Here I thought I was going to be able to step through into the non-stone dimension that this was connected to. Instead, I'll be back. For the moment, I can go back to zoo. Beep beep! You turn around the corner to see a postman tip his cap to Molly and putter away on his motor scooter.
Look, I got a present from my jelly bean in the big house.
The big house? What, like a mansion?
Jail, you dope! She's doing time upstate cause she went off the track during a bank job and gave a cop of lead poisoning. Let's see here. She made me a license plate. 301178. and a handmade chef and a bottle of toilet vodka. Can you Adam and Eve it? Oh, I miss her so much. Toilet vodka? Well, it's like bathtub gin, just, more so.
Molly's maximum HP increases by 5. Why? Also, Blioe? Blio? Okay, it's nothing. I just saw that those are all reversible letters. In a 58008 flip your calculator kind of way. Raucous party happening inside. Time to get the cooking going. I'm gonna give him the wood chips. Hey, fantastic. Thanks, pal.
Those are probably gonna make it real smoky in here, though.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a real party. Woo!
Okay, I'm gonna get out of here.
Can we go upstairs? We can.
Someone spilled cantaloupe all over the stairs. How does that even happen?
Go upstairs and see if that gives us any information. Excuse me, between the grunting and shouting, there's either a brawl or a sporting event taking place in this room. Possibly both. I'm gonna barge in and join it regardlessly.
Jocelyn football player.
Maybe we do need to take some Jocelyns to this area, see if, it's not Molly who's my Joclyn? Gabby, see if Gabby is comfortable here. I think I can give a sacks of violence across the party. I'm gonna go for 1 healing to all of us every round as well. And just try and take a target out. Oh, good lord, no! They do a lot of damage. I'm gonna thump you with a stick to try and lower the amount of damage. I should also lower your musicality and all of that. Oh wait, hang on. I'm not allowed to use this? Usable once per fight? I didn't think I'd use my hypnosis yet. Am I just not able to use that? Oh, goblins can't be hypnotized. There we go. That's the message I was looking for. Oops. Increase my moxie by 3. I mean, that is more damage still in this fight. I feel like if I take down the damage dealers, they really won't have anything they can do to me. And especially if I take away all of their strength, it's going to be difficult for them to do that. So let's go with something more like a cha-cha-cha. Throw that your way. And then this is looking good. Yeah, buddy. Orchestra strike and murder on the back line. And we can follow this up much more easily. Beautiful! You held your own pretty well in there, and as such, you're now holding some of theirs as well. I get 39 meat and 15 experience. More! Yes, I do need more combat. Okay, so let's quickly change a couple things about our things, right? We don't need the cold armor as much right now. We need physical armor. Physical armor is what I'm looking for. I don't want to get tackled as much. So I had a stone frat cap. That seems like a good idea if we can keep our head above. I'm gonna use it. I think the sharpened throwing was working completely well there. There's no need to change that whatsoever. Reduce all enemies' mysticality by mysticality. I mean, I can't use the uncursed pocket watch, so there's no reason for me to continue trying to use that. Crack an open to deal your muscle in spooky damage. I don't have that much muscle. I got 7 damage, but yuck. Dumb coffee mug. Reduce all combat's mysticality by your mysticality. No one's using mysticality in the fight except for maybe the enemies that are healing. So sure, give that a go. Our accessory. Any normal armor? Nope, not really. I think I should probably just go with the higher item and meat drops, because that could be relevant for us. Mood ring, constantly changing mood. No. I'm looking for a scabrous, no. Saxophone key ring, there we are. I still can't believe there is that specific of a ring, but very happy to have it. +1 AP to a pair of pants. What's my best pair of pants? +1 physical armor and 3 max HP, maybe? 3 physical armor from the trench pants. That sounds like a good idea to me. In fact, I don't really think I need to even focus on... Oh, let's get Gregovich the Snake. Let's get some poison. I don't really think I need to focus much on optimizing otherwise. I feel like this is probably going to get us across the board by itself. I'm going to spray damage because they don't have a cheerleader right now. Hey! Give them Sacks of Violence for 5 across. Then I'm going to call for backup and get my poison unit to attack 2 more times. Sounds good to me. Ugh, Molly's gone down, but yeah, this is a very, very quick fight. Beautiful. Let's do that 1-1 again. I have to assume it's probably going to be only 3 that we're allowed to do. Typically tends to be 3 before you exhaust the limit. I don't want to do any farming off camera or anything like that. It seems like the game is well paced enough to try and prevent you from being able to even really just stand there and grind forever. Has been historically. Either by raising the difficulty of the enemies, or by just making them no longer available at a certain point. There's our Sacks of Violence, the call for backup. I really want to get the call for backup upgrade. That's by continuing to read the book that was given to us by Greta, pet shop owner. Ah! Oh, right, of course, I don't actually even need to live. Forgot about that. Oh, that heal was deeply unfortunate, though. Hey, boy. Yeah, I gotta really make sure that unit dies. Otherwise, we do. We do. Gregovich gets stronger, we get 16 experience and 40 meat as well. Alright, look, you absolutely gotta clobber that guy. Less damage from him, thank you. And a Sacks of Violence? A little bit more poison. That guy's never acting in his entire life. Beautiful. I can spread some damage on this one. And in fact, yeah, that should pretty much confirm the kills. 16 experience. Okay, so this is not ramping up at all. I'm gonna do it one last time and then probably move on, noting that at that point, yeah, it's probably not gonna be changing anytime soon. You know, if I can deal 3 damage to you, that's gonna be far than good enough. Far more than good enough, rather. Hey, literally the fastest fight? Okay. I think we should continue there. I do appreciate the amount of money that we got out of that, as well as the amount of experience. 371. I mean, 371, I can get myself +1 Moxie with 3 ranged weapon attacks. I can also get improvisational muscles for +1 to AP regeneration. Honestly, I've wanted both of those for a while. I do want the other two, but I feel like I'm just gonna get them before the end, right? Tab next section. Yeah, these are all my basic skills. I'm almost finished unlocking all of them. A young lady is operating as still here. I talk to her. You must be a chemical student, right? Good guess, but no, I'm a hobo. I've been renting my services and this portable still to make ends meet? That still doesn't look very portable. Oh, it's much lighter than you'd expect? I see. Well, that still doesn't look very portable. I'm gonna ask her about the hobo code. Do you know any hobo code you could teach me? Oh, sure. Some say booze-related glyphs are the most useful ones? Hobo code, knowledge increased. I'm gonna tell her about the hobo camp as well. You know, there's a big hobo camp over near Ocean City. I bet your skills would be really popular there. Yeah, I heard about that. I'm saving up to buy a new hat first, though. I do want to put my best foot forward, you know? The world's worst rising intonation. I'm supposed to do this as part of my accent. I seriously don't think they'd mind. I know, but it's from my own self-confidence. I wouldn't expect a woman who owns her own still to have issues with self-confidence. Oh, I didn't drink this stuff. Oh, you could use it to degrease industrial machinery? How much do you need for your hat? 87 meat? Okay, I'll cover you. Oh wow, are you sure? Yeah, it's no problem. Thank you so much. I'll come see me at the camp and I'll pay you back. She packs up her still, hefts it onto her back, and leaves with away. We get 15 experience and she says bye. Indeed. You can tell from 5 feet away that this door leads to the bathroom. I can absolutely buff my stench armor to that degree. See, I have a booze-soaked handkerchief, which will get us in here so I can flush this toilet, which still works. The spirit's broken, though. 45 experience for having done so. This is just a pile of toilet shards. This is either a special toilet for a really tall guy named Art, or a toilet hung by a genius. Well said, game. Most of the books on this shelf have been ruined, but not all of them? No, not all of them. One of them is still good. Here you go. It's a piano repair for abject imbeciles. A remedial piano repair textbook. It grants the combat skill Piano Crush, deals 3 physical damage and reduces muscle by 3. I read it. You read the book hoping to learn how to repair pianos, but the book is so remedial that all you learn is pianos are heavy. This does, however, give you an idea. You got a skill, Piano Crush. You could try and read it again and read between the lines to deal 2 more damage and reduce muscle even further. We'll do that in the future. For the moment, this gold-plated door has a sign on it that says "See Chutney." Who that is, or why someone who can afford a gold-plated bedroom door would live in this dump, is anyone's guess. I go inside. You're too intimidated by the door's opulence. And its deadbolt. I'm gonna say it's mostly the opulence that stops me. It's the fraternity's communal wardrobe. I check inside. Beneath your standards, you find some clothes. Just barely above them, you find a coat hanger. A wire coat hanger. You're not sure why anyone would want to wear a coat made of wire, but whatever. Can I use it to... Nope, can't use it to jimmy that deadbolt open. I mean, that's just experience right there. I like experience and I like meat, but doesn't seem like it's otherwise helping us. This desert cart is cleaner than most of the things near it. I check under the cover, you find a baklava wrapped in a balaclava. You got an item baklava, a fancy and exotic dessert made from phyllo dough, honey, and nuts. To this day, no one knows what phyllo dough is. Increases your meat drops by 50% until you find something else, and a baklava. Balaclava, sorry. This hat is great for concealing your identity so that no one can make fun of you for how badly you ski. Plus 4 cold armor and it's a hat. Alright, buddy. I'll put those down for a second. I'll throw one maybe at me. Okay, I can't collect one with my face. Here I was hoping. The knob of this door has been slathered with bacon grease. I gotta get a little bit more sleaze armor. This frat guy is throwing food at a makeshift dummy. His precision's uncanny. I talk to him. Hi, I'm Ryan. Sup, pal, I'm Glordo. Hi, Glordo. You're really gonna go to town on that training dummy?
Yeah, I picked it up in the army.
You were in the army?
Yeah, I was in the Cola Wars, saw things you wouldn't believe, true horrors.
Wait, how old are you?
31.
Huh. Well, I guess that explains your skill with throwing food. You learned that in the army?
Yeah, except it wasn't so much learning as it was being experimented on military scientists with highly dubious ethical pal.
Oh wow, what'd they do?
Made me drink a bunch of experimental super soldier syrup, crazy stuff. I barely remember anything that happened to me, but the nightmares will follow me forever.
Jeez, do you have any of that syrup left?
The super soldier syrup? Yeah, I've stole a whole case of it on my way out.
Can I have some?
Yeah, I can give you a dose, but not for free, pal. You gotta bring me a treat.
A treat? What kind of treat?
I need 5 cotton candies. They have them over at the Ocean City Boardwalk.
Got it? Absolutely. You're gonna make me a super soldier for that? Just before we go over there, let's get this sleaze armor popped open. Filters, elemental, sleaze armor. All I gotta do is wear this necklace. Perhaps these pants? and open it despite the slathering. It's a weird shadow pocket or pouch or something. I close it with my shadow pliers for 10 experience. You place the jaws of the pliers around the little hole and wrench them closed, or ply them closed, I guess? This fuse box has been stuffed full of celery. There's a very old manhole cover here. The drum smells like vermouth. I take a closer sniff. Yep, it's vermouth, and you're keeping it. You got an item drum of vermouth. This is enough vermouth to supply an army with martinis. You don't trust any organization that stockpiles this much margarine. Shelves of miscellaneous basement junk, which I search for a fuse and paperclip. These tools are all gravy stained, but they're functional. I'm gonna make some stuff with my anarchist's hardware. A stink bomb, fustulent grolch. Ooh, a grease bomb. 5 sleaze damage to all enemies. I mean, honestly, all of the ones that are sleaze damage do all enemies are pretty good. I just got scared. I just got jump scared by a door opening in my own house. I live with people. I still got jump scared by that. Just what up? I'm gonna get a stink bomb here. Let's get some fustulent grolch. Let's go for sorted grease bomb. There we go. How about a cold bomb too? I'm gonna make a basic combat item this time. And a handmade pet pill for 2 AP seems like a really good idea. Maybe one more of those. Stop making some combat items though. I feel like I am now appropriately done. It really feels like there could have been more down here. Fuse box being stuffed with celery. Maybe at some point I will need to come back and take the celery out of that, and I'll be able to put a fuse in there instead. Or maybe celery works as fuses in this world, I don't know. For the moment, what I do know is I need to make my way to a chemicals lab. So let's do it. You wander into an empty classroom and find a blackboard covered in complex physics equations. I struggle to understand them. I furrow my brow and try my best to learn something from the equations. I fail, but I strengthen my furrowing muscles a bit. 7 experience for having done so. Ah, shiny new chemicals building. Welcome to the SIT Chemicals Department. You might be interested to know that this entire building is made of solid copper, which the Federal Treasury donated to SIT because they couldn't think of a use for it. Wait, you don't need to make any more pennies? A steam-powered lamppost. We truly live in the future. I'm off to find a moon pie. The perfect spheres carved from Mother Nature's favorite chemical, the rock. The Dwayne. A bronze statue. The plaque reads, "In honor of Dr. Ambrose Adams, founder of the Chemicals Department." The sign says, "Leave a chemical, take a chemical." I'm gonna make a swap. You can have some powerful grit and a impenetrable shellac. Oh, I guess I got powerful grit for the impenetrable. Sure. You can have a. I will take a shellac for a grit. There we go. Just trade them back. The door to the chemistry classroom. Only 88 of the boxes on this chart have been filled in. Periodic table was not super well filled out at this point in time. There still have to be amendments to Tom Lehrer's songs, so we've got some time yet. It's a laboratory workbench. I'm gonna make some potions. I'm not gonna make some potions. I'm fine, I guess. Athena, can I go in there? Student ID, Ryan who identified. Access to this doorway is limited to students and faculty in the chemicals department. That's me. Authorization verified. Access granted. Thanks. I go on in. Oh, I thought that was hobo code. You sure hope there won't be a test on this because you don't understand any of it. The professor is checking over some really complicated looking chemical formulas. Formulae? I talk to them.
Oh, hello. How can Professor Gilbert be helping you?
Is it formulas or formulae?
Formula? That was the only question to having.
Oh, no. Sorry. I'm also supposed to be taking a class here.
Ah, good, yes, good, yes. Very exciting for a new student to be having so much chemicals with Professor Gilbert to be teaching you.
Great! Where do I start? The professor digs around in a box under his desk and pulls out large lumps of yellow crystals.
Yeah, to looking at it, to knowing which element this is, are you?
Well, I'm guessing from the color, maybe sulfur?
Haha, yeah! To knowing the thing already, that's good!
Thanks!
Sulfur is diamagnetic orthorhombic crystal to being, also multivalent and an elemental macronutrient.
Should I be writing this down?
Yeah, an experiment to be doing with it.
You got an item, a chunk of sulfur. A fist-sized chunk of sulfur. It's yellow and crumbly and smells like rotten eggs, and you're annoyed with the guy who's making you carry it around. An experiment?
To throwing it in the river, and back to coming with telling me about the observation.
There is the SIT River Bridge location unlocked. Back to... Okay, I got it. I think. Okay, so this is going to be our weird logic puzzles thing, right? The professor is looking over some complicated looking chemical formulae, as I know they're called. This book must be pretty ancient. The pages are made of vellum. I flip through it. The book is titled A Complete and Practical Guide to the Various Alchemical Substances. I guess that's how a lowercase u, lowercase s that was mid-sentence used to be printed? Interesting. And their properties for the use of students in a classroom setting. Unfortunately, the pages are so old and stiff you can't turn them. Ah, shucks. I'll loosen those pages up with something, I'm certain. You still want me to go do the sulfur lump situation? I got that, buddy. You wanted me to do that over at the bridge? Well, why don't I make haste? You okay, Molly? You've gone 5 whole minutes without speaking a word. Oh, that's unexpected. Where'd you find that book?
Huh? It was on a bench somewheres. It's pretty interesting.
Applied ballistics?
You think we'll be needing to throw a 90-kilogram projectile over 300 meters? Cause there's a real juicy diagram in here, look!
Gee, Molly. You could be the girl that revolutionizes gang warfare. Except the opposite of revolutionize. You gain 10 experience. Bring the trebuchet back into the turf war. There's a fishing rod leaning against the railing. Maybe it was left here because something is wrong with it. I take it. It's a cursed fishing rod. Only seems appropriate that we have this being haunted. Do you want to try fishing here? Let's try it. You managed to reel something in. A shadow hot dog. Hey, finally I can get these shadow hot dogs from a different source now that I, of course, can't bring them out of the alternative world anymore. Nice, you've got a 3-eyed dudgeon. Put that fish in a sack. Ooh, a 3-eyed sarcastic fringe head. Toss that in the sack as well. A ladder blocked by a complicated municipal contraption. The plaque says this is the SIT Chemical Department dump zone. I'm gonna drop in the sulfur. You drop the sulfur in and watch carefully. The yellow lump hits the surface of the water with a plop and sinks. Nothing else seems to happen. Noted. I don't need to be run over by a car, right? I just don't think God'd help us in particular. Let's make our way back over to the chemicals and tell them what we've seen. As you're walking past one of SIT's many weird vending machines, it suddenly emits a ear-splitting clang. After which it also emits a sizable quantity of meat. There's no one around, so you do pocket it. 14 meat, thank you. Hey, buddy. It fell.
Hello! To going your experiment, how is it?
I dropped the sulfur in the river.
Yes, good. And what did it?
Well, not much really. It got wet and sank.
Haha, yeah! Sulfur has twice about the density of water and non-reactive to being with normal circumstance.
They look in the box again and pull out a lump of metal with structure of weird spiraling squares and an iridescent rainbow sheen.
How about that? To knowing what this is, Aggie?
Bipsmith?
Close. Bismuth.
Ah, right.
This one is rhombohedral structural crystals, and it is the most diamagnetic of all to them. Also, it is very much less poisonous than the other ones like it.
It's very pretty.
That colors from thickness variation in the oxide layer being. Here, go to river and put them in.
All right. Let's go put that in the river as well and see if it reacts either with the river or any of the chemicals there prior. You decide to take a shortcut between the university buildings. It's a little dark and spooky in there, but nothing to be scared of. Oh, until you see a manhole cover scraping open and you see two fishmen glaring out at you. I slam the cover shut. You grab the edge of the manhole cover and with a mighty heave, you flip it over onto the really quite surprised fishman, knocking it back down into the hole. More specifically, knocking it into the second fishman, who was also halfway up the ladder, and then the two of them fall on top of a third fishman who was waiting at the bottom of the ladder. There's a whole lot of screaming and splashing involved, but after you've closed the manhole properly, it's muffled enough not to bother anyone. I get 11 experience for it and make our way successfully to the rest of the bridge. It's the bismuth's turn. You drop the bismuth into the river, it goes kablunk and sinks quite rapidly. Alright then, buddy. What are you gonna... Are you making me make mustard gas in this? What's happening here? I'm gonna buy that book. Sure, it's a deal. A good deal and a good victory for free thinking. Don't ever buy your textbooks new, my friend, and don't let them ever make you think you gotta. Thank you for the additional book. I always appreciate these. I read it. This book is full of diagrams of veins and arteries and a third kind of blood vessel you didn't even know about until now. It's complicated. It's gonna take some blood, sweat, and tears to get through it. I read it. You memorize all of the vein maps, and in doing so discover a bunch of extra blood in weird corners of your body. You got a perk. Comprehensively veined. You know where all of your blood is, plus 3 maximum HP. This... I kind of have this. I have all over my body these things called arterioventricular malformations. Basically, when I was a wee baby, or before baby state, when I was between embryo and baby, all my capillaries formed wrong all over my body. So there's just a bunch of areas where they've just joined up to be friends near my skin. So I do have just extra pockets of blood in weird corners along my vein map. I feel very seen by this comprehensively veined perk. You're so delighted by this, you throw the book up into the air and a passing bird grabs it and flies away. Enjoy, bird.
Hello! To go into experiment, how is it?
I dropped the bismuth in the river.
Yes, and?
Well, it sank faster than the sulfur.
Correct! Bismuth needed to sulfur 5 times the density to have it. Anything other?
Not that I noticed.
Yes, bismuth only went very hot in water to react it. Good job!
Thanks. Professor Gilbert looks in the box again and this time holds up a lump of silvery gray metal. That's...
Haha! Do not to worry. Professor Gilbert not to guessing you this one. Practically everything is a silver gray metal to me.
Oh, phew.
Oh no!
This is magnesium!
Uh-huh. I'm not doing it. You can't make me.
The other ones are like this paramagnetic one. This hexagonal crystal's close packed, and there's so much of it. 13% of the whole planet is that to a making of.
Huh.
Now you have it.
Chunk of magnesium. This looks like rock, but a science guy has assured you that it's in fact an interesting chemical. This one goes in the river too?
Yes, watching closely.
Okay. We should be very careful as we do this and duck the hell away almost instantly as we let it drop from our hands. As you're walking down a hallway in one of SIT's many and various science buildings, a lab door suddenly bursts open and a wild-eyed lab-coated man runs out with 2 large fizzling test tubes in his hands.
Refuse my tenure, will they? Those fools! I'll destroy them all! Don't try and stop me!
Stop you from doing what, exactly?
I've created the perfect monster formula! All I gotta do is mix these 2 chemicals and an unstoppable legion of beasts will devour this entire building and everyone in it!
I'm gonna fast talk him. Say, that sounds like it might have some real valuable military applications. Listen, buddy, don't waste that monster juice.
Huh? You think I can sell this?
It just so happens I'm a recruiter for the Government Special Projects Bureau. Here's my card. You pull out a random business card from your pocket and put it back before the scientists can see what's really written on it. Just put a
couple corks in those tubes and sign this blank piece of paper and I'll see what budget the boys think. You could be a millionaire by the end of the week, Doc.
The scientist eagerly hands over the test tubes and you stroll off with a salute. Once you're outside, you find it's still great to toss them down. That's probably fine. You murder the fishman from before.
Yeah.
I hope the river is ready for some magnesium. I drop it. You drop the magnesium and watch closely as it sinks. It doesn't seem to go as quickly as the bismuth did. That's about it. Excuse me? I'm pretty sure magnesium reacts with water. Is it not? I could have sworn. An SIT student wearing a bulky overcoat flags you down as you're crossing the street.
Honig,
Hello?
do you find yourself in need of a fuse this fine day?
Yes! You start to lie to the guy, but when you open your mouth, a fuse falls out. He narrows his eyes as he walks away. I continue where I'm going. Damn it! I needed that! That was my mouth fuse! That was running my mouth! I need other fuses for other things! I dropped the magnesium in the river.
Good, yes, and so?
It seemed to be about as dense as the sulfur.
True, yes. Less slightly, but close. Are you too learning? Too much? To drawing a conclusion?
My conclusion is you basically tricked me into throwing a bunch of trash away for you.
Haha, this is astute.
A what?
A time for the next lesson of you.
I'm not throwing anything else in the river.
No, a box is empty. The next lesson will be figuring out how complex chemical to be producing.
Okay. That sounds interesting.
Good, yes. A mind of inquiring scientific is very important to having. The equipment over there, you want to see it?
Yeah, it looks really antiquated.
Well, back to the basic. But just some chemical. But all chemical.
Not just some chemical, but all chemical, rather. That's a pretty good pun.
What? Anyway, go to figuring those out and a chrome polish to synthesizing.
Chrome polish, got it. I can't see anything in there, so I'm going to archaically experiment. There are 4 hoppers, each of which has a weird symbol on it. The first 2 hoppers are reasonably full, and the third and fourth hoppers are empty. I make something. Okay, you got a couple elements to work with here. What do you want to start with? Let's start with the first hopper. Alright, what's next? The second hopper and the third. First hopper again and the fourth. Second hopper again. You decant the materials into a vial and run some tests on the various sample materials of the workbench. It appears you've made some sort of umbraline softening juice. That doesn't seem to be very useful, at least not for any circumstance you're likely to be in anytime soon. Fortunately, the workplace has a drain, and it's probably perfectly safe to dump this stuff into the municipal sewer system. I keep it. A vial of umbraline softener. I can't use it to soften that, unfortunately. I make something. I'm gonna use the first hopper 3 times, and the second hopper once. I get myself Bologna softening juice, unfortunately. I flushed that, obviously. Let's review the equipment. There's 4 hoppers. Alright, I would make something from the first. There we go. Just the first. Bologna bleaching juice. Okay, let's flush that. Let's try again. The second gives an asbestos purifying juice. So it looks like a purifying juice is made entirely out of the second. What's the word I'm looking for previously? A bleaching juice is made entirely out of the first. A combination of the two is a softening. I mean, So 2 of the hoppers are already filled, but 2 of them are not. How do I assist those ones in being filled? Also, these symbols over here, definitely relevant. I just don't know how yet. Let's try a different order for the same thing. So a second hopper, first, and this gets us vellum bleaching juice. Okay, so I'm looking for so let's flush that. Try it again. I'm looking for second, first, maybe? Asbestos bleaching, okay, no. I don't want to keep that. Can I trash these? I discard the asbestos and the umbraline. Okay, so I know that starting with the second hopper and then going for the first 3 times gets us vellum softening juice. Hell yeah, I keep it. I use the vellum softener. You carefully drizzle the vellum softener on the book, rendering its pages so soft and supple as the day they were born. I mean bound. I read it. Someone left a bookmark at the alchemical symbols and the various substances they represent. That third hopper is supposed to contain arsenic, as it turns out. You can't find the fourth symbol in here anyway, though. Ooh, I know what they are now. According to the book, they correspond to mercury, lead, arsenic, and something else. Let's go. Mercury, lead, mercury. An umbraline straightening juice. I can flush that. Chrome polishing. Lead, mercury, lead. Asbestos softening juice. Yeah, I just don't know if I can get there with what I currently have. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time thinking about this puzzle between the episodes. Which of course means, until then, my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Shadows Over Loathing. Top left is the series playlist for all my contents of the game, past, present, and future. Down below, YouTube's recommendation for what it thinks you should watch next, streaming past the names of the people so generously, supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays, our Republic connected. Special thanks this episode to D. Hoyler. Hopefully you'll be enjoying yourselves and hopefully see you all next time.